Let's get it started. Start with the latest on Ezekiel Elliott. Dallas police are suspending their investigation into an incident at a Dallas bar on Sunday night that allegedly involved Ezekiel Elliott. The police say they have attempted to contact the alleged victim, but he has not responded and no witnesses have come forward. The NFL said on Monday they were looking into the incident as well. Shannon, what does it tell you that the investigation has stopped?
Skip, I don't really like to get in speculation and conjecture and innuendo, but for this segment, I'm going to have to speculate. There's a great chance that down the line, monetarily.
Oh, you're going there. Aha. Money has changed hands?
Yes, I believe so.
Closed mouths?
Skip, it's hard for me to believe. Now, Sunday night, I think when this incident happened, witnesses stepped up. It was one, Ezekiel Elliott. Mm-hmm. Now, I've gone to a bar, and I'm an anomaly. I go to the bars, and I didn't drink. But it's hard for me to believe that all the people there, some of them probably had a little something to drink, they said it was Zeke. Now, I'm thinking come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody is going to be of clear mind, sober mind. I don't know who it was. I wasn't even there. So now nobody didn't see nothing. They don't know nothing. I hear nothing. This is Dallas. And as you mentioned before, the Cowboys, their players are worshiped. They're revered, especially the really good ones. Mm-hmm. That young man is a really good one.
Yep.
And for me, Skip, I think the NFL is going to say, you know what? This is conduct unbecoming an NFL player. This is conduct detrimental to the team. Because although he hasn't been charged with anything, there is a reoccurring theme, and the common denominator is Zeke. Those two incidences, one in Ohio, one in South Florida, was investigated. Okay, investigated. They say nothing happened. But I don't really want my players being investigated for this. Him pulling that female's top down on St. Patrick's Day, I don't really want my players involved in this. You spoke about the incident that happened, and nobody else seemed to know about it in Dallas, but somehow
there was another one, just like this last one on Sunday night.
Yes, in this incident right here. And we got the speeding in April of last, well, it was this year, speeding and all this going on.
He's appealing, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets out of that one, but anyway.
Going 100 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone.
So with that, Skip, I think the NFL said, you know what, Zeke, you're not getting the message. You keep running through these red lights, and he's one of these guys, Skip. You know what? You're a child, and you try to explain to him, that's hot, don't touch it. Hot. They don't get the picture until they actually touch it. Hot. See, Ezekiel, he don't believe it's hot, Skip. He's going to have to get burnt first, and then he's going to realize it. But Skip, a lot of this, and Ezekiel is a grown man. I'm not going to keep saying he's a kid. He is a grown man. He's making grown man decisions.
I don't know about that, but keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give him grown man.
Yeah, he grown, Skip. But I'm going to place a lot of this blame at Jerry Jones' feet, because Jerry Jones has become Al Davis of the South. Al Davis would take anybody. He would play anybody as long as you weren't incarcerated on game day. And that would be the only reason that he wouldn't play you. This started when Jerry bought the team, and he let Michael Irvin and all these guys do whatever they wanted to do as long as they came to prepare to play.
Just a quick point for you. Everything Jerry learned about the NFL, he learned starting in 1989 when he bought the team, and in 1990 and 91 from Al Davis.
Yep.
Why did he invite the Oakland Raiders down to Cowboys training camp to scrimmage against them? So that he could have dinner every night with his mentor, Al Davis. Everything he knows, he learned at the knee of Al Davis. Keep going.
Skip, it's hard for me to believe, and I know it's going to be hard for you to believe, that Zeke all of a sudden came into some money and he started exhibiting this type of behavior. This is who Ezekiel Elliott was at Ohio State.
True.
This is probably why his daddy uprooted himself from Missouri and moved to Ohio, Columbus, so he could be close to Ezekiel. Now, he keeps saying that his son is naive to being a superstar and what it encapsulates. Zeke's not naive. He knows this behavior is unacceptable, but he's also been coddled. When you are a great athlete, Skip, people will do things to protect you, because at the end of the day, you're worth more to them being on the field than off of it. Jerry Jones realizes what this young man can do and how he can help him get to his ultimate goal again, which is winning the Super Bowl. Jerry needs to crack down. Stop getting, he's a great player. We're not arguing that. He's a great person. Sometimes great people do bad and dumb things. And maybe that's what we're seeing here, Skip. But Jerry needs to stop condoning this type of behavior and say, Zeke, is unacceptable. And I'm going to sit you, and I'm just, what he should do, you and I both know, that's not exactly. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But so Skip, if I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm not held accountable for my actions, what's to stop me from doing said action? Nothing. Nothing. But let me tell you who will. See, Jerry came up under Commissioner Tagliabue. Commissioner Tagliabue was very slow to take players off the field, especially for off the field behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, his successor, Roger Goodell, Commish, he has no problem sitting you down for a game or two to get your attention, because he just don't want your attention. He wants your undivided attention.
Yep.
And so this is why I believe that Ezekiel Elliott is going to miss some time, because the pattern of behavior that the commissioner would deem unbecoming an NFL player.
So my first question back to you, Mr. Sharp,
Yes.
is who says my Cowboys can't play defense? That was some pretty good defense they played yesterday, right? Jerry Jones, perennial all-pro defender of Dallas Cowboys, in trouble, right?
Yep.
And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, mouths closed and people disappeared, and even the alleged victim could not be found. Interesting. Same thing happened at midseason, as I told you, sitting in this chair at midseason on one fateful night at another bar in Dallas, Texas, and somehow that got swept completely under the rug because it never even
made
the newspaper. So what we have here is a whole lot of smoke. Day after day, smoke. It's just smoking everywhere that Ezekiel goes. But there's no fire. Because as you correctly point out, believe it or not, after all these incidents, Ezekiel Elliott has yet to even be charged with one of them. Not one charge, let alone a conviction. I'm talking about he hasn't even been charged. And traditionally, going back to the Tagliabue regime, and even early on in the Goodell regime, the NFL has waited to react to the judicial system.
That's correct.
We will respond as they respond. We will respond in kind with our punishment.
Correct.
And so there's nothing yet to really respond to except one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And my emotions today are extremely mixed. As you know, lifelong Cowboy fan. I can't help myself. I'm just lost in it. And I'm lost in the fact that a suspension of Ezekiel Elliott could save Shannon Sharp from the worst prediction in the history of Undisputed, which is that the Cowboys now favored to get to the Super Bowl, to win the entire NFC, not just the NFC East. Shannon Sharp says we'll miss the playoffs. So my emotions are just torn apart today, because I can't wait to see the look on your face when they
miss the playoffs,
win the division, and then win the NFC. But obviously, it would help me greatly if I have the breakout star in the NFL last year. Who was it? The breakout star. It wasn't Dak, because Dak's not exciting enough. It was this kid, right? Was he not the breakout star? It was this, right? Was that not it?
Yeah.
Dak didn't have any edge to him. He didn't have anything to him. He didn't do this.
Jumping in the Salvation Army
jumped in the kettle, right? It's Ezekiel Elliott. And here's the dilemma for everyone involved right now. And I hope people can stand back from this and see the magnitude, how much money is on the table right now, because who's the biggest draw in the National Football League by far?
Cowboys.
It's the Dallas Cowboys. Last year, who played in 4 of the 5 highest rated games on television in the season last year?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. Who played in a divisional playoff game that was simply the most watched divisional playoff game in the history of the National Football League? The Cowboys against Aaron Rodgers at Jerry World, right? They're it. Who is the most valuable franchise, not just in America, in the world? We just heard this the other day. In the world, $4.2 billion. The Dallas Cowboys. So, hence, are they not the most powerful organization
Yes.
in the world? You could argue in sports, obviously. Yes, they are. So now they have a breakout star. They are favored to get to the Super Bowl. And yet I heard on Monday that NFL officials were outraged that an Ezekiel Elliott they had put on notice as of last week, and then reported by ESPN, that he was preparing, he was bracing for a suspension and preparing to fight said suspension, that he would have the audacity, be brazen enough, be so far from contrite enough that he would go out on Sunday night and get involved in some other incident that now gets swept right under the carpet. But
Go out, Skip. Go out a week before he's supposed to report to training camp.
you got it. You got it. It's the pattern of behavior dating back to Ohio State. He was involved in a car accident at Ohio State, and he's already been involved in 2 in Dallas. 2. The speeding ticket, the yacht that he rented that was boarded by the Coast Guard, but nothing happened. No citations were written. Nothing happened.
Skip, he's in 2 accidents. He was in one last year before they played Green Bay. He was in one this year.
Okay, I got it.
Arriving to OTAs.
Okay. And then I don't know how this even got out, but he admitted that he visited the marijuana dispensary in Seattle ahead of the preseason game back in August, right?
He was curious.
Yeah. And so now we have accusations of domestic abuse in Columbus and Fort Lauderdale. Just accusations. Both police departments investigated and decided not to charge. And yet testimony did come out that was printed. You can look it up on the internet that some texts were made public in the testimony in which Ezekiel admitted that he was preparing to try to pass a drug test on the following day. And he said, I'm going to spend the next 24 hours in the sauna to pass that drug test. And I will pass it. That was the thrust of the text. But that there was some question about whether he would be able to pass. You can look it up. I'm not breaking any news.
Right.
So all that smoke, but no fire as yet. So again, I was told on Monday that the NFL was so angry over Sunday night that they were really going to come down hard. But I think they thought that there was going to be a charge filed against Ezekiel by the alleged victim. The alleged victim just went up in smoke, so to speak. He's gone. I don't know. They can't find him.
But here's the thing. The NFL says we've seen something like this before in the Greg Hardy situation, where she called 911. She explained the situation. But here's the thing. Yeah. When it came time for her to show up to court, nobody could find the female. Now, it was reported that he had a settlement out of court. Skip, okay, I can be hold on.
Now you're going to an extreme.
Right. No, but I'm just saying.
Compared to this, but yes. I know, I got you.
This gentleman is looking at, hold on, I can get some money and I can be a hero by possibly, because if he presses charges, you automatically know what the NFL is going to do. But he says, I can possibly get some money, not say anything. Everybody in Dallas will love me. Jerry might slide me a couple of tickets for the whole season, and I got some money in my pocket. Now TMZ, what they can break some stories. I don't know how they do it, Skip.
I respect them.
Because think about this, Skip. When nobody else could get that video of Ray Rice in the elevator, who put it out?
Yeah.
When everybody said Venus was at fault because she ran the red light, who put that video out? Now, TMZ had the video. And there are people that said it was Zeke involved. Now everybody's sober with clear mind and clear thoughts. Who am I? Where? I'm in Dallas. I live in Dallas. Don't nobody know anything. But the NFL is saying, you know what? In order for it to be smoke, there had to be some fire somewhere. So maybe the fire is put out, but the smoke is still smoldering. You can't have all the, in a year's time, think about this, Skip, in basically 15, 16 months, think about all the incidents that Ezekiel Elliott name has come up in. Skip, ain't nobody's that unlucky. I don't care if you got 15 black cats, you broke 7 mirrors, you can't be that unlucky. And Commissioner Goodell, he's like, maybe if he showed, you know what, these incidences, this, and he hadn't involved in anything else. Because guess what, Skip? When the NFL wants to find out something, I bet you they know about that incident that happened.
I agree.
That didn't make the news.
And they may know about other incidents that we don't know about. So my conclusion is, does Ezekiel Elliott have big issues?
Yes.
Yes, he does. Have his issues often put him in the wrong place at the wrong time. You better believe it.
Yep.
But has he been charged one time with anything? No, he has not. So I was hearing on Monday, and I said so on Tuesday, sitting in this very chair, that the NFL was hoping to go 6 to even outside 10 games. You know, that'd be the outside. That's as far as they could go.
Right.
But 6 games. So I was sort of settling in on trying to get myself prepared for psychologically, emotionally. He could be gone for 6 games. Then we talked about how could the Cowboys survive over the first 6 games. Well, now, because I just took it as a fact that he was going to get charged in the one Sunday night. Well, now we have a mitigating circumstance. We have no charge. So now I'm thinking 2 games, 3 games. I don't know. And I don't know how they're even going to sell 2 or 3 games at this point, because you can't detail what he's done. You can't say, as the court found, there's no as the court found, right?
Yeah.
So if they suspend Zeke, let's just do this. Let's say for 4, let's go 4.
Okay.
For 4 games, for conduct unbecoming.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
I mean, does Goodell have enough authority, enough dictatorial authority where it's
Ask Tom Brady.
okay? All right. So, but at least he had to come with a Wells report to say this is our evidence against.
Ask Ray
It's
Rice.
bogus to me. But you
That's
did
pretty
have
hard.
you had a video there, and you had a conviction the first time around. You had a, what did they say in North Carolina? A bench conviction?
Yes.
Yes, by the judge.
You
Right?
had a bench trial,
Yeah.
which means the judge
Yes.
heard it. But once he
Yeah.
can appeal it.
Yeah.
So once it's appealed.
when it went to appeal, that's when she did not come forward.
Right.
Okay. But in this case, you have none of the above. So how are you going to back up your suspension? How are you going to detail what he did wrong? I think it's going to be pretty hard because you don't even have a charge to fall back on.
Commissioner Goodell, if you notice, he always points back to the CBA in that article in which the players have given me great latitude.
They have.
In power beyond power.
Okay. Do you want to cut off said nose to spite face? Because this is your biggest draw in your sport.
And they'll still
These
be a
are
draw.
the cash cows, as in cash cowboys.
Yeah, you got to understand, they've been sorry for a while, and they still, because they're the Cowboys. That doesn't matter. It's like the Lakers. The Lakers still draw, even though they've missed the playoff in the last 4 years, because they're the Lakers. The Cowboys are still the Cowboys, whether Zeke plays or not.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones is still the owner, and he's
And what did Jerry?
he's
Jerry
at the
is-
top of the NFL.
But what did Jerry? Jerry seems resigned to the fact
He was 2 days ago. He was resigned. He was like, well, we prepare to lose players for injuries, so ... Like, okay, if we lose them now, we're prepared.
Remember last year when they talked about they were going to possibly suspend
He was
Zeke?
adamant about. There is no, his quote was, "There is nothing there."
Well, lots happened between now and then.